All right, so listen, I'm just going to come straight out here and tell you I screwed up and I missed something that I have told you to do here on this channel. And well, it's okay because I got myself some views, I got myself some subscribers, and I got myself a little extra cash from this little mess up. But there is a reason why it worked. And there's actually something on this board that is representing why it worked right now that you're not aware of, but you're going to be aware of it because I'm going to share that with you here on the old handy dandy little whiteboard. But right here, this side right here, I've got it all written out. This is my little video checklist. And this is what I go through every single time. Well, if you notice that little red optimize or optimization step, I missed something. And it's okay because something else in that step was okay. And it actually made this video work. And I'm going to break that down for you. I'm going to actually dive into the computer and I'm going to share that with you of why it still worked and why you should, well, maybe take a lesson here from this. Don't make the mistake, but you can definitely learn from what I did do right. And that actually led to this many views, which, by the way, 63,000 views on a video that's less than a month old, 3,000 watch time hours, 1,700 subscribers, $300 in revenue. Crazy. But let's just go through the checklist real quick. Title. I did that. It was a good title. I think it was a great title. I'm going to share that with you, and you could take that title and use it for your own video in your own niche, because titles are probably the number one thing. And that's why I think that this video did work. And by the way, that's a problem that a lot of people struggle with is titles. So I actually created a free resource for you. If you would like that, just put hooks in the comments. That's my title swipe file that I give to people that are struggling. And I actually use it myself to, well, if I'm struggling with a title idea, I start there. Title, number one thing that I always start with. Then from there, I get into the actual recording. All right. I'm going to say, okay, got the title. Now let me record it. And that's a lot of times what people don't do is they come up with a topic, then they record, and then they try to title it. And that's backwards. This is the way I do it. And also another reason why I think this video still did okay, even though I missed this step here. All right. Thumbnail. That's the next thing. That's the next thing that you do, right? And then from there, we upload the video. While the video is uploading, I'm optimizing. And I'm going to take you through the video and show you all of the back end of this video. And then from there, we hit publish. And that's it. And then we let it do its thing. All right. So you probably want to know, what did I miss in the optimization piece? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to show you right now. All right. So here we are inside of the analytics of this video. And you can see here, it posted November 12th. And right now, the time of me recording this, it's December 10th. So we're just under a month old. And check this out, 63,000 views, actually 63,039 views, 3,100 watch time hours, 1,700 subscribers, and $300 in estimated revenue earned. And here's the crazy thing. Would you look at that? Right now, this is in the last hour. Actually, that was an hour at 10 to 11. Then this here is 11 to 12. And this here is right about the time I'm recording this, it's at 129 views per hour. So it's still getting over 100 views per hour. And look at this, browse. It's coming from browse. It's coming from suggested videos, which is what we want. All right. So let me get into the big mistake. And well, let me just get right to it. If we look right here, we've got great impressions. So it's obviously being shown. And if I look right here at the title, why you shouldn't tell anyone about your YouTube channel. And by the way, I shot another video here on the channel that shared that title that, well, I gave you some ideas that you could be using with that title structure. And I hope that you did. And I'm actually going to link that video up in the description if you want to check that one out, where I walk through different examples on how to use them, which also is something that I do inside of that free guide that I talked about, where I have 10 titles and I formulated them. So this way here, you can go ahead and you can plug in your own niche. If you want a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you that. But let me go ahead and just come right out and show you what I missed. Impressions, click-through rate, 6.7%. Looks good.
Anything above a 5, I'm usually good with, but out of the gate, we want that to be above that. And you can see right here, out of the gate, we had 8.5, we had 7.7. So you can see it's steady above 6, 5.8, came back up. And the reason why this goes up and down, if you're ever wondering, is because as it gets shown to more audiences, as YouTube starts to push it, it's going to go down because it's trying to find new audiences. And then that's where the thumbnail might not resonate. Speaking of thumbnails, I'm a big believer in split testing, and I split test all of my thumbnails on this channel, on my other channel. Since they came out with the A/B split testing, I actually did another video about that. I'm always A/B split testing. Well, guess what? I forgot to do split test. Yeah. So normally you would go right here and you would see a split test. No split test. I forgot to create another thumbnail to test. And I didn't realize it until I was going through the analytics one day and I'm like, wait a minute here. I never split test this. And I was blown away. But I was like, you know what? It's doing really well. So if you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really need to A/B split test, you should, because it gives you 2 opportunities now to see what one resonates better. And I'm going to show you an example of one here in a second that I did just the other day, and we've already got a winner. So if I started this video, if I uploaded it, and let's say that this thumbnail didn't perform well, let's say it got a 3% or a 2%, the video probably would not have gotten 63,000 views. And if you're asking yourself why, it's because YouTube looks at click-through rate. It also looks at the engagement. How long are people sticking around? So it's going to look at, yes, the click-through rate, but then it's also going to look at the retention. All right. Now, it also will look at over time, it will look at, okay, we are showing this to a broader audience. So then those tolerances are going to become less. So yes, I'm getting a 6.7, but if I was getting 1 million impressions, this might drop to 5%, and that's okay. Their algorithm adjusts for that. So don't stress out about that. But I would say if you're coming out of the gate and you're getting 1,000 impressions and you're only at like a 2 or a 3%, we got to fix something. That's why we want to split test. But why did this thumbnail work? Don't tell anyone. Remember I told you in the beginning that there was something on that board? I wonder if you caught that. Did you catch that? Where I put right here, don't tell anyone on the top. I did that just so I could come back to it and go, see, that's why. And you might have saw that and go, I wonder what that means. Or you might not even have thought that. You might have just read it and been like, oh, don't tell anyone. He doesn't want to tell anyone, right? It drew a little bit of curiosity in the beginning of the video, which is another important thing that we want to do is we want to create that hook in the beginning of the video, which this video had a really good hook. All right. So let me actually look at the engagement here. And we're about average. Okay. So it's just almost 3 minutes, but let me show you what it did out of the gate. First 24 hours. So let's see. It's a little above average. Okay. Well, it's a little less actually, 12 seconds, but to me, for the channel, we're about a 3 to a 4 on the engagement. You can see here, watch time is up, but let me go back here to reach. Look at this. Okay. It started at 8 or 13. Wow. 13. And then it dropped, picked back up, but it still stayed pretty consistent. And then let's look here, last 7 days, and let's see what we got. Wow. Okay. So that's the impressions. This is the click-through rate. We're still hovering above, 5.7, but everything else above 6. So doing really, really, really good. Okay. Let me show you though, okay, the back end as far as the details. So everything that I did here, okay, was pretty much standard. This is my description that I always put in every single video. I always asked the other day, hey, Scott, why don't you put a really elaborate description in there? I'm testing this right now. And I've been testing this now for probably about a month, maybe a month and a half. And here's the deal. Haven't seen a difference. And this is proof right here. This video is getting pushed. It's getting really good views, really good engagement. And it doesn't have a really well-written description for SEO, right? For the search engine, because I don't believe it's necessary. Okay. What is necessary though, is I'm putting this here download the YouTube Creators 100K Roadmap. If you want that, by the way, you can go in the description and you can check it out in this video as well. That's our 100K business plan roadmap. Here's our hooks file. Then we have all of the equipment we use. Like those are just basically links of resources. Okay. And that's all that we're putting in there. All right. Now, if I keep going down, there's the thumbnail. Now, if I wanted to, which I probably will here, I would say when the video starts to maybe slow down, like right now above 100 views per hour, I'm not going to touch it. But right here, all I would need to do is go here and then say test and compare. And then it's going to allow me to test it against another image, which I will do. Okay. But what I want you to learn from this right here, this thumbnail, is it worked really well out of the gate. And I have a few assumptions of why. Okay. Don't tell anyone. That is very, very bold. It's very like in your face and you want to know why. Don't tell anyone, right? Like why? Now it does support the title, which a lot of times people will just put the title in the thumbnail and that's a no-no. We don't want to do that. The other thing is it says don't tell and it's in red with a red background. Why am I doing that? Because I've tested it plenty of times when I did the A/B test like I was supposed to do in this one. And I've realized when I don't put red behind my text, it generally doesn't do as well. Okay. So whenever you're doing A/B split testing on the thumbnail, you want to use stuff that has worked in the past and then you want to test against it. And that's what we'll do here. Okay. But something you can take away is try a thumbnail and try to have something that's a bold statement, something that would get someone to stop and wonder and be curious. That is really the signature thing to do. And it's also very, very short. Don't tell anyone. Okay. And you want to kind of know why. All right. And then if I just scroll down here, I added it to 3 playlists. Yes, it's made for kids. No, it's not made for kids. I always check that. Down here, altered content, no. Allow automatic chapters, yes. Allow automatic placements, yes. Allow automatic concepts, sure. Tags. Here's another thing that a lot of people, they put tags every single time and they want to know, do tags help? I don't really know because I've stopped putting them in and I've noticed an uptick in views. Another little nugget there. So if you've been with me in this video for, I don't know how long we've been going here, but that's a little nugget. That's why you want to watch through the video because I'm generally dropping these nuggets as I go through this. So down here, and if you guys are seeing any of this stuff, this is just recommendations from vidIQ, which I do take some of the recommendations, but not for tags. And if you guys want to try vidIQ, that's one of those links in the description. You can check that out and you can buy me and Scotty a cup of coffee, which would be awesome. All right. This stuff I just leave. And then allow embedding, I leave that. Allow video and audio remixing, sure. Category I'm using is how-to style. Comments and ratings, I leave that on. And then I sort top, I don't even check that. Show how many viewers like this video, sure. Add fundraiser, I leave that blank. And that's pretty much all that I do there. Now, the other thing is I do always add an end card on that one there. So that way there, we always lead people to the next video, okay? Now, as I said a little while ago, I wanted to show you another thumbnail that I did that worked really, really well and that why you do want to be testing because this could have made the video work or it could have made the video tank. All right. So let me show you that next. All right. So this video right here is one that Scotty and I did as a more of a Q&A, and we're really doing these videos for our subscribers, for you if you're a subscriber. And what we do is we answer questions. Again, if you want to ask your question and send us a voicemail, you can go in the description. It'll be there. And what we do is we sit down and we record it in our little studio that we created. And that's what this is. Now, we don't expect these videos to really do all that great. We're hoping for 1,000 views per video for this style. I just kind of wanted to say that because not every video we're going for, we got to get tens of thousands of views. 1,000 views to the right audience is great. And I think these videos are meant for that. So let me get into the analytics of this one. All right. So this one's gotten 1,234 views and it's been posted a couple days ago. So let's look at this here. So this one right here got a 58.9%. Okay. So it says on or off, and then it has a little bit of some settings and then it shows an arrow. Okay. This one here says, will this setting hurt views? And that was it. Okay. This one clearly won, on or off. Now, with this is what we will be doing because I'm not liking that we dropped so much here, right? This here, we can't look at this yet because the data hasn't come in yet, even though it's saying that. I'm recording that right now at this time. It's 1:02 p.m., December 10th. This is going to update. So in an hour from now or two, it'll give us an update. This here though, 3.6, that's pretty accurate. That's low. We don't like that. So what are we going to do? We're going to take this thumbnail and we're going to change that thumbnail, or we're going to leave that thumbnail, but we're going to add another one to test against it. All right. That's what we're going to do. But that's the thing that I messed up on that one video. But you know what? It's okay because it worked. Why did it work? Well, I think the title is why it worked. And yes, it was a strong thumbnail that I learned from other thumbnails, but I can't stress it enough. The title is the number one thing. And that's why if you struggle with titles, I want you to watch that video next because I walk you through those 10 titles that I talked about earlier. And I give you even more examples on how to adapt those to almost any niche. Watch that video next and I'll see you there.